Hello Tacticians, it's time for another Mythic Journey. And today I'm happy to do another practical one, and doubly so because it's for an actually useful hero, Rotbone. My one gripe with Rotbone is that his first name shouldn't be nauseous with an O, as in adjective, but nauseous without the O to be more of a proper name and still implying being nauseating. But that's not really important now. The missions are, so here goes. Mission 1. Defeat 7 enemies with the Overwatch trait with Rotbone in one battle. Luckily, the enemies do not have to be overwatching when Rotbone rearranges their anatomy, so no too fancy strategies are needed and the mission is easily doable in any campaign stage with enough Overwatch units, such as Fall of Cadia 28.
The first Rotbone's Mythic Journey mission is for him to defeat 7 enemies with the Overwatch trait in one battle. And, well, the Fall of Cadia stage 28 has 8 last cannons, which should count, so I'm gonna clear just that. Also, yes, I brought Corrodius to make Rotbone less slow. Okay, that's 2. That's 4. That's 6. And that's the mission done. All that remains now is to clear the remaining enemies and clear the stage. I could have killed that with the Malades, yes, I noticed too late, but fear not. And the mission is done. Moving on. Woohoo!
Mission 2. Heal 30,000 worth of HP with Rotbone in one turn. The inevitable spend a crapload of badges on this hero mission that every healer so far seems to have. You will also need to have at least 5 Chaos Heroes, including Rotbone himself, with a big enough HP pool to begin with, because overheals don't count. The absolute minimum you need is a level 47 Rotbone's active and 6 heroes over 5000 HP, one of which must be Lucius. Then you would need to play Onslaught, have Lucius die, swap in a 6th hero, and have Lucius come back before bringing everyone to low HP, huddling around Rotbone and using his active. Without Lucius, Rotbone's active needs to be at least level 49 and everyone needs to have at least 6000 HP. But then you can do the mission anywhere a full Chaos team can enter, but Onslaught probably still works the best because of how Thermagants work. And here's the practical.
The second Mythic Journey mission for Rotbone is for him to heal 30,000 HP in one turn, which can be done rather easily with Rotbone's active at level 49 or higher, and then you only need Rotbone and 4 other Chaos Heroes at over 6000 maximum HP, so that Rotbone actually has the potential to heal them. So the way I'm gonna go about it is to pretty much kill everything except one, ideally Thermagant, the ranged gun, so that I can take advantage of the Thermagant having a strong ranged attack and a very weak melee attack, and as such be able to dose the damage to my heroes very accurately. Now, with the roster I chose, I have 1, 2, 3, several small problems. The biggest of them being Karn, whom I really shouldn't attack with, because then he will start just rampaging and killing everything, and that's no bueno, because we need one last enemy to not get battle fatigued or killed. So also it helps when you don't do this like an idiot like I just did. So I think I just screwed myself. Okay, change of plans. I'm gonna get Karn killed and replace him with Yazagor or Archimatos, whom I also have at high enough HP. Oh well. This just shows that I am a single thread brain. I cannot focus on two things, such as talking and fighting or playing the game at the same time. Okay, so this should get Karn killed. Good. And now I need to rotate out characters until I get one of the designated victims. I still have a few waves of Tyrannids to go, so all is well. And that one Termagant in the southeast of the map is, I think, my designated survivalist. There, you die. I can in fact just keep clearing the stage, no problem. I can simply have all the characters die to the Thermagant. Oh crap, now it's got some bodies adjacent to it. So it will A, hit harder, and B, be prone to battle fatigue, which isn't good. So Maladus, great, and of course the battle fatigue procced. So yeah, just when you need slightly worse RNG, the RNG decides it really needs to be great for you and fuck you over that way. Welcome to Tacticus! Ah, that's not what I wanted. I thought that was Maladus. I'm really not having a great brain day today. But so far it's recoverable from, so as long as I don't brain fart much more, I should be fine. Heal Malabus for now. Start killing there. I'm gonna heal, try and play this a little safer. It should have died. I don't want to score kills with Archimatos now, because summons and all those distractions and whatnot could be problematic. Okay. Yeah, of course it splashes the one that would be stranded. There. Heal up. And I have one more Thermagant if this one gets scared, but the one in the backline didn't get scared, so I think this is my carry. And those are the last guns that are in this stage. So I can kill these guys, and now I just need to move somewhere where I can rotate characters in front of the Termagant. Malados will take a while because block chance and because Terminator armor, but that's fine. And you know what? I'm gonna bait the Termagant to high ground. There, now it will go a little faster. Okay, so I only need something like 6000 HP missing from each character. So yeah, Rotbone is good. How much is he missing? 6.1k, let's do a little more. There, that should be comfortably more HP missing than my Rotbone can heal with his active anyway. So, time to swap in another one. And looks like Arch takes roughly 1000 HP per shot, like this. That's 1500. Yeah, he should take about 300 in melee now. Never mind. Looks like the plus 50% damage from high ground is after armor mitigation, which I was not sure about, so this is gonna take a while. Yeah, I don't think Arch can safely take another ranged hit. How's he looking? He's missing 5.7k, so I really should get him lower. Archimatus doesn't have that much of a buffer. Okay, he's missing 6k now. Let's lose 100 or 2 more, and that should be fine now. So time to swap in another one. Let's go with Ahriman. Two more ranged hits. One more. Ow, that was ouchier than I expected, but Ahriman is done. So Abraxas now. Come on. So 2 more. That block was unfortunate. Alright, and that's Abraxas done as well. So I think everybody is now missing 6k HP, so I'm gonna use Rotbone's active and clear the stage. And that should be Rotbone's mission done, and it indeed is. Great, this sucked. Moving on.
Mission 3. Defeat 100 enemies with Rotbone. An extremely fun and not at all frustrating mission. At least battle fatigues should count, and Fall of Cadia 67 can reliably provide infinite battle fatigable enemies.
The third Rotbone's Mythic Journey mission is for him to defeat 100 enemies, which is just cruel because he's healer and he's slow, but I think the Fall of Cadia stage 67 will still work. So I'm gonna take something like my preferred positions here, while bringing a few heroes that are tanky enough and don't need much micromanagement. And I kinda forgot to bring in Toth, but that's fine. Next step is to let the Voxcasters summon enough Cadians that they are effectively cut off from reaching well, you. And I'm going wrong about this, ain't I? Yeah, I still need everyone surrounding Rotbone, so I need to reposition just a tiny bit. This should be fine. Thaumagus is now my most squishy unit, I think. Anyway, now the Voxcasters should be cut off enough by their summons that they will not reach the kill zone and Rotbone can get to business. I think the battle fatigues should count for this type of mission, so I'm actually whacking this one for potential 3 battle fatigues per turn should make it go faster. But then again, the Chaos don't really have a good kill counter like the Imperials do in the form of any sister. So at this point I think I'm just gonna watch TV or something and make a cut here to half an hour or so later. So be back in a bit. Alright, that was hopefully enough of them, so time to get to actually clearing the stage. I really hope that was 100, because this sadly isn't very fun. But it's for a good cause, so worth it, I guess. Okay, that's most of the Voxcasters gone now. We can keep scoring kills with Rotbone for good measure. Yeah, I probably should get... I was gonna say a few screamers out and then I decided to summon in the worst possible hex. Go me! That was nice though. So from here, that's the last Voxcaster gone. And one more kill for the road. And with that, hopefully the mission is indeed done. Great! Moving on.
Mission 4. Defeat 7 enemies on contamination hexes with Rotbone in one battle. With the change to Pestilence damage type from direct to toxic, which can contaminate the hex his target is on, this mission's evaluation changed from Royal Donkey Schlong between the cheeks to relax, it's probably just a rash. Back to Fall of Cadia 67.
The fourth Mythic Journey mission for Rotbone is for him to defeat 7 enemies while they are standing in a contamination hex. Now, this pretty much necessitates Pastilian because he's, I think, the only Chaos character with the toxic damage type. Come on. Tiny icons. Which has a 25% chance to contaminate the target hex. And as such, you're going to need an infinite amount of enemies. So, Fall of Cadia 67 it is again. So just like the last time, I'm gonna camp in this corner and wait for the map to fill with enemies. And now the fun begins. So Pestillion needs to attack and deploy contamination, which he did, nice. And now the enemies will push in to attack adjacent to Rotbone. And since contamination lasts for 2 turns, it's still up. And boom, Rotbone got 1 kill out of 7 now. Now I just need to repeat this 6 more times pretty much. Good, it worked again. But nobody got into the contamination hex. That's great. Oh well. Sadly, the contamination only lasts for 2 turns, so now it will be gone again. And it didn't get reapplied. Great. Okay, at this point I think you got what you need to do, so I'm gonna make a cut here and go to the end. Be right back. Alright, and about 10 minutes later, this should be the 7th kill for Rotbone. And let me tell you one thing, the proc rate on the contamination from toxic damage type is ass. Anyway, time to clear the stage and be done with this mission. I suppose an alternative means of getting the contamination would be having already some Death Guard ascended to Mythic and having the Plague Bells, Plague Balls, Plague something on them so that they cleave with contamination, I believe, which would give a few more opportunities to proc it, but then again that kinda defeats the purpose of the Mythic Journey, at least for Rotbone, which is to ascend him to Mythic in the first place. And I don't remember which of the Death Guard do get that particular relic. I just know that Maladus doesn't. He gets the Demon Flesh Plate block item, I think. Oh well, and that should be the stage cleared, so hopefully the mission is done. And it indeed is. Great, and moving on.
Mission 5. Deal 100,000 damage with Rotbone. Okay, this one definitely is a royal donkey schlong between the cheeks. Back to Fall of Cadia 67 again!
The final Rotbone's Mythic Journey mission is for him to deal 100,000 damage, And so we find ourselves once again in Fall of Cadia stage 67, going to be farming infinite Cadian guardsmen. Now, the one small problem with this is that each of the guardsmen only has a little over 400 HP, so the 100,000 damage is going to take a little under 250 kills, and that's not including battle fatigue, that's just raw kills with Rotbone. So this is gonna take a while, but doesn't matter. I've got time, and I have another episode of Dexter to watch. So after this turn, I'm gonna make a cut and pretty much AFK grind it. And I will be back when the Dexter episode is over, so in about 55 minutes. And hopefully by then I will have done enough damage for the mission to be over. So be right back. Okay, so it's about an hour later, and I had enough of this, so let's see what the actual damage dealt by Rotbone is, and it bloody better be over the 100,000, please. The Screamers are really efficient at clearing the stage out, which is great. Oh nice, I didn't even notice they actually managed to get all the Voxcasters already. Well, and that's the problem with corridory maps. Getting around can be a pain in the ass. And that's that done. So what's the damage? Not this one. This one! Bloody hell, just 2/3 of it! Fuck my life. Alright, so I decided to finish the mission quickly in the first legendary stage of the currently ongoing Archimatos' quest by whacking everything with Rotbone. And so it's done now! Yay! And with that, it's time to finally ascend Rotbone to Mythic. Now, where are the Death Guards? Here are the Death Guards. There. So, yeah, this is the kind of Rotbone you wanna see. Now time to make him even bigger. Truly a necessary character to build for the quests, for LREs. He's useful everywhere, partially because he's the only Chaos Healer. Well, I still maintain we should have got Fabius Bile for the Emperor's Children, but that's probably just me. Anyway, with that, no, actually with this, the video is pretty much done and over, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you again sometime, somewhere, somewhen, somehow. Kaurin, out.